We have the Radiant. Check out that Phoenix. Check out that Dragon Knight over there. They're pretty cool. Ursa's got a dumb mask. We have the Dire and the Knight Timber Saw. I like how the guy inside is like a mad blacksmith, but the Timber Saw himself is a knight. That's cool. It's like a crazy person wanted to be a knight, so he made himself a sweet knight mech, but is still a crazy old man on the inside. This is one of the cooler Timber Saw skins. I like it a lot. I'd rock that. Speaking of skins, check out Io without the new skin. I sure didn't manage to get it. Did you? Let me know in the comments. We've got an ability draft, and let's do the cut to the action thing a little bit instead of just spoiling the video right at the beginning. All right, we have Phoenix going for the top river rune into 3 heroes, including one of Fury Swipes, and totally getting saved by Dragon Knight. Shakiro also gets pushed off a rune. Dragon Knight has all the time in the world to secure the bottom river rune. It looks like he will just make that happen. Jungle Rune bottom went to Clockwork. Jungle Rune top went to Timbersaw. So that is lots of runes for the Dire. And my buddy Stargate is playing this Timbersaw on the Dire. So I will be rooting for the Dire this game. Not to be biased. Let's introduce the builds. We've got Io with Fury Swipes and 2 things to give him attack speed and a way to survive certain death and respawn with full life. I mean, this is amazing. What a build. Attack speed and Fury Swipes. What more could you want in life? You got an item that says more attack speed. Yeah, I mean, this build is fantastic and OP. Is it a mid build? No. No, it's not. I don't know why this is mid. This shouldn't be mid. I don't know why he has Fury Swipes, considering Ursa picked it before him and first picked Dual Breath. If you want to know how that happened, or in general want to support the channel, the best way to do that is on Patreon. You get extended content, like the draft itself and a post-game analysis. You get my undying gratitude, and it's only $1 a month. So yeah, check that out if you want to. Anyways, Io's build is amazing. Ursa slept on his first pick, and yet ended up with quite a strong build with Caustic Finale and Bedlam Terrorize. Earthshock is a nice nuke too. I mean, it's got nothing on Fury Swipes, and obviously he dies immediately. Unfortunately, Jakiro with Thirst is sleeping right now because he could 100% run down Io before he gets back to base if he'd gone for it. But he didn't. So, kind of a weird mismatch where, like, Io has a fantastic build that's not great for mid, and Ursa with Caustic Finale is actually better for mid. But, like, this is a melee agility hero whose whopping 800 health is not really going to keep him alive through many Fury Swipe hits. Fury Hype swats. Hits of the furious swipey kind. Anyways. It's a weird matchup. We'll have to keep an eye on mid, see how that goes. Io already got the first kill, using that overcharge to just blast away half of Ursa's health. But then the creeps detonate, and Io's suddenly at half health. Like, interesting traits. Very interesting traits. Alright, let's take a look at bottom, where we have Dragon Knight farming the small camp with Sandstorm. That seems good. I think if you're, like, placed just right, you can hit both camps with Sandstorm. Maybe it's too small. I might be thinking of Alchemist. Anyways, Dragon Knight again with the clutch Ice Path, protecting his buddy. This is a good build. It has Shadow Realm. It's OP. What can I say? Also, he can turn invisible, and he can Earthquake, and he's got some crowd control with Ice Path. Desperately needs Blink, Ags, and a Moonshard before it's a real boy build. But, like, if he gets those 3 things and can go into a fight and just, you know, appear out of nowhere. I mean, I guess you could go with, like, a Silver Edge or something instead to show up out of nowhere and then pop Shadow Realm. If he gets the 2 AoE damage things down and starts blapping on people with Shadow Realm while he's untargetable. It's quite scary. This is a good build. Bane has another amazing build. I see these as 2 carry builds, so them laning together is a little bit concerning. It looks like DK is happy to jungle and support though, which is a little unfortunate for his GPM, but whatever. Giving the farm to this Bane with Dragon Form and Doppelganger seems good. I love the flavor of Liquid Fire on Dragon Form. That's amazing. Uh-oh, Ursa died mid again. I guess we know how that exchange is going. Who else died? First Blood? Ursa... Oh, Ursa once, Io twice. Okay, Io died mid. I've definitely seen Ursa... Oh, no. Ursa has 2 kills. Duh! Okay, so Ursa and Io have died in trades and stuff. So Bane's build is excellent. I mean, turn into a dragon, make it so there's 3 of you. That's so scary. Who wants to fight 3 dragons? What a terrible idea. I mean, I guess Yu-Gi-Oh wants to fight 3 dragons. Sand King, amazing builds. Teleport stun, nuke, crowd control, crowd control. Amazing. Absolutely amazing. Nothing but good things to say about this. Sand King is one of those bodies that really struggles in ability draft because he can't right click. That looks like Ursa just got Io again, so they're 2-2 mid. What a fight. Yeah, Sand King can really struggle with ability draft because he's just kind of a garbage body. Like, the stat gain is at best. Like, okay strength, and then, like, pretty bad both agility and int. So having a good caster lineup on him where you can just itemize into having mana and then make yourself useful despite your total inability to right-click effectively is a good way to go with him. Then we've got Clockwork. And this is my kind of P3 and P4. I legitimately don't know which one is which. And they're both really good in the off lane and have good kill potential on the enemy carry. They're obviously not using it, which is a little upsetting. Like, I would love to see more Burrow Strike into Battery Assaults, followed by Dragon Tail when it seems like you might get away. Like, why he's spamming Rocket Flare as his lane decision is a little questionable to me. Maybe he's just using it to secure last hits from a bit further away. I guess that would make sense. But, like, they have such high stun potential. I would rather see them doing that. And, like, KarmaKnight is often not here, so maybe if they had their vision a little bit deeper into the jungle kind of spot. Oh, that's not their vision. Maybe if they had vision, they would realize they could go on Bane pretty easily. Let's see. That leaves us with... Did we talk about these 2? We did. That leaves us with top lane, where we have Jakiro, who has Thirst, build OP. What can I say? Easy. I actually really like this cute little combo. An Icarus dive and then pop power cogs right as you bump another hero. And then continue diving out of it, I think. We're going to have to keep an eye on Jakiro this game. And see if we actually see him do that. Because this would be really sad if it doesn't work the way I hope it does. Where you can, like, fly by and cog somebody as you're passing over them and then fly out. Which is what I would expect. But there's also a chance that the cogs just captures you as you try to fly by, which would be real sad. So assuming that works, he has a super long range, super long duration disable, along with Liquid Fire, and then Thirst so he can run people down afterward. I want to say this build is amazing, and if you execute the combo correctly, it could be quite devastating. Again, not sure if it actually works. Next we have Phoenix. Phoenix has 2 tank abilities, which he's leveling with. I disagree with that. I feel like you could level with either one of these and then Bloodright and actually be viable in lane. Or, you know, like a threat in lane. With this setup, he's just going to be probably ignoring the enemy heroes and last hitting. Which is fine, as long as he gets some net worth out of it. Oh, Ursa died again. But, like, I don't know. I'd rather see him using Bloodright earlier in the game. On the other side of the river, we have a Bloodseeker with Rupture and a Slow. That's a thing. Not sure if he thought about that all too much. There is that Icarus dive to escape. So, okay, Rupture and a slow is a little bit of a nombo, but Rupture and Phantom Rush and Overpower is really good. Unfortunately, it totally lacks crowd control, other than, like, maybe forcing them not to run with the Rupture. This is interesting. I think I like it. It's a bit of a do-nothing right-click, but like, it's okay. And then we have a dead Ursa again. Is that all Io? Is Io just 4-0? No. Sand King showed up and helped Io for one of those kills. Sand King... Ursa is 3-4 with a death on both Io and Sand King. Yeah, fascinating. All the fights have been mid so far. Maybe Io ganked bottom? I wasn't paying attention. Anyway, last, definitely not least, we have Timbersaw with what I would describe as the dream. I love me some spirits. Whole River Styx thing with spirits and Manta, or spirits and Conjure Image, or spirits and Mirror Image, or spirits and what's the thing Bane has? Doppelganger. They're all good. You pop out Spirits Ags, you get a couple extra illusions off your Manta style or off one of those abilities I mentioned. You end up with, you know... Oh, Timbersaw's dead again. Let's see what just happened to Timbersaw. Oh, not Timbersaw. Ursa, this guy. Ursa's dead again. Let's see what happened to Ursa. Was it Io has attack speed? Looks like he died to Io has attack speed. Oh man, rough. Yeah, that mid is getting more and more unpleasant as Io gets levels at some points in his attack speed stuff. This build just like wants a shard so he can sustain with Blood Rage, and then it turns insane. Ooh, it looks like we have a dead Dragon Knight too. What happened to Dragon Knight? He's jungling and gets a little low, and Sand King spots him and engages, kinda. And then the Burrow Strike spin and a Battery Assault. He dies. I feel like they could have been getting kills for a little while here. Possibly quite a little while. Anyway. Yeah, so you guys have seen some of my other videos where the River Styx is a thing. Juxtapose is absolutely the dream tool to use with spirits. You get more than... I'm sorry. I'm gonna go do some quick testing. Hold, please. All right, I checked. It is +2. So normally you have to get Ags and then get Manta, and then you use Manta, and then you use, you know, your whatever spirits, whatever illusions ability, and you end up with like what, 4 or 5 spirits. With this setup, you just get Ags, and then you hit Juxtapose, and there are lucky 13 of you. It's instantly. And like that is wild. They multiply, they just keep coming. You have many illusions forever. Like anyone who has ever played as or against Phantom Lancer knows that they're just, oh no, everybody died bottom. What happened there? Yikes. The big old Fiend script from Sand King, followed by the Thunder of Dragons, killing everyone along with an Ursa gank. Gets out at pretty much no life. That was cool. I had been looking forward to seeing the Thunder of Dragons. Has Shakiro done the thing? I think he just did it. Wait a second, let's see how this works. Watch the Shakiro. Oh yeah, he gets both of them. Oh, that is so cool. That is so cool. Let's see that again in slow motion. Oh, that is amazing. I mean, he didn't even get the kill on those two, and I'm still just so very impressed. That works exactly how I want it to. Anyway, speaking of things working exactly how you want them to, this ult with spirits, once you get your axe, is dumb. It's so dumb. The river is going to be so thick. Look at all those illusions. Alright, we're going to switch to free camera and zoom out a little. We gotta be dead. So cool. Okay. Let's check out the player net width. I always like doing this about 10 minutes into a game. Looks like IO is doing quite well. What do you know? Turns out farming and doing everything. Oh yeah, I like this setup. Some stats, some more stats, and some more stats. All focused on agility and attack speed. Splashes of strength to keep his base damage up and his health up. I mean, he's a monster. He's absolutely a monster. Turns into a pig to run a KarmaKnight who hides in a sandstorm. Epic planned. Looks like the pressure is on bottom. Sand King gets... Must have been nightmared. Ooh, and he goes down. I didn't even see how that happened. What just happened there? Oh, he's got liquid fire on him. Yeah, just eats a second liquid fire. Dude, this flavor, liquid fire elder dragon form, it's so flavorful. It just tastes like dragon breath. I love it. Meanwhile, Ursa catches Bloodseeker aggressively warding, and he is not rewarded for his warding. Bane punishes Clockwork for trying to help. No dragon form needed there. And now it's all tied up, 8 and 8. IO with all the kills in the world. Ursa actually ahead in kills, but also way more deaths. Very, very interesting game so far, guys. So we've got the Radiant up 2k kills. IO just got... Wait, somebody just got the... What just... Phoenix goes on... What is happening? You guys see this as an IO? Oh yeah, Phoenix goes on IO. Okay. No, that's Sandstorm. Why do I see it? There's an IO there. IO is the supernova. I know how this game works. IO almost dies and kills Phoenix. Supernovaing under tower for the amazing kill. Okay, that was cool. Well done, IO. In the words of my good friend Stargate, I'm a pig! Look at him go. IO's looking for ganks. Will he find them? Who knows? Got 3 bottom. Ursa TP's top to contest, I guess, Timbersaw? I don't know. This one's a long one. It's a full hour game, so whenever we find lulls in the action like this, I'm gonna hit this button. Let's see where the fight's at. Mid, IO catches Bane in the jungle. Bane turns into 3 Banes. IO gets sleepified and then ice pathed. Supernovas himself to almost safety for that Dragon Bane. Ends up killing him. Sandstorm kind of tries to help but just doesn't have the damage for it against Ursa and Bane. Timbersaw farming up a storm in the jungle. Unfortunately, yeah, Timbersaw is bad for farming. He has mana for spirits right now. Isn't casting it. Not sure why not. Mid tower goes down to the push that follows that fight in the jungle. That's it's an interesting fight. I think IO just felt supremely confident. and then went and died to 3 heroes for trying to fight alone. He's leading the net worth still, but Ursa is close behind, and then it's Bane. Followed by Clockwork, followed by Timbersaw. I guess that means Clockwork is the carry bottom and Sand King is the support. They secure a kill on the Phoenix. They try to secure a kill on the Ursa, but he is saved by his own Terrorize. Good use of that spell. I find this is a really cool ult because it has just an amazing damage spell, and if things are going poorly, it has an amazing survival spell also. Bloodseeker goes down to the Bane again. This time Bane is fully on the other side of the world. Already in dragon form. Gets dragon form 2, goes to farm, finds an already very low Bloodseeker, and that is just absolutely a free kill. He's spotted in the enemy jungle, and after he picks up the kill, he immediately TPs home. I love that play. That was very well done. Such solid Dota right there. Macropyre on the clock, who looks like he's going to escape despite having 3 heroes on him. He just walked right out of that. He's got Phase Boots and Echo Saber. That makes him pretty tanky and pretty hard to kill. So who's the third carry on Radiant? Is it... like, who's the P3? Is it Bane? No, not Bane, sorry. Is it Jakiro or is it Phoenix? Phoenix could be farming and trying to do the Radiance tank thing. Looks like that happened. He's got 53 last hits. Alright. And then there's Jakiro with, like, no items working toward... Man, so I think Thirst maybe gives Jakiro priority here? I mean, sleeping instead of farming certainly doesn't help his case at all. Also, I noticed Phoenix just bought levels instead of finishing his Radiance 100 gold faster. That is incorrect. Levels give him an ability he's clearly comfortable farming without. Getting the Radiance done would mean he could be farming all 5 of these at once instead of just slowly but surely chipping away for like 70 damage an attack. Ugh. This build definitely still suffers from being totally useless. Does no damage. Anyways, speaking of useful and useless things, it looks like Ursa died again. What happened, Ursa? Where were you? Where did the bad man touch you? Pink pings to go on Ursa and goes on Ursa with half health. Actually surprised that chased the Ursa off. I mean, off deeper? All the way to between the T2 and the T3? Sus, Sand King shows up. Fiend's Grip. Timbersaw shows up with some spirits. Clockwork did clockwork things, and yeah, that was alone and super far out of position. I don't know what he was expecting there. Alright, the next fight. Looks like it's brewing mid. I see KarmaKnight setting up to do mean things to Io. Hey, look at that. Phoenix finally has his silence. He silences the clock. Timbersaw does his thing for the first... Oh, he tries to do his thing for the first time when Macropyre kills all of his illusions and then him. Oh man, let's see that tragedy in slow motion. Okay. This Timbersaw right here has been just waiting all game to get this axe. The fight breaks out mid. He blinks in. He does the thing. Look at all those spirits spawn. Macropyre goes down and the illusions just immediately pop. And then a second later, Timbersaw goes down too. Oh, that is painful. That is so painful. Okay, I'm gonna pause for 1 second again and just start taking notes on what, because I think I just cut that off in the middle of a sentence there, but I'm gonna make that super short for this video. That's totally what's happening. Alright, we have the victorious Flaps flapping down mid to flap away at this tower. Will they get it? I don't know. I don't think so. Looks like Bane is going with the right clicker who damages an intel hero build with the Witch Bane. Witch Blade. I like it. It's good. But it isn't necessarily the best for taking towers. Bloodseeker with another outstanding Ice Pass secures the kill on Sand King. And him going down right as everybody else respawns actually leaves the mid towers in danger. Dragon form's over, so sieging high ground right now is quite hard. There Timbersaw goes with the juxtapose thing. Looks like the lead Timbersaw is the real one. He takes a lot of damage there and sends his minions through a fireball. He kind of loses most of the glory of that one also. It wasn't quite a total insta-pop, so I won't clip that one, but it's a little sad. It's a little sad. All right, let's see where the next fight happens. Looks like it's Bruin mid. Sand King and Io and Clockwork all go on Phoenix Illusions. Sand King gets into the power cogs with a Burrow Strike and ties for it. Shakiro will go down to the Io. Bane turns into 3 dragons, which is scary. One of them goes invis and gets away. Shadow Blade. Io ends up popping Supernova, try to survive the fight, but goes down. Bane also pops. Not super clear what happened to Bane there. KarmaKnight shows up late with an Earthquake and a Sandstorm and just doesn't do that much damage. That was interesting. I feel like he should have done more damage than that. Oh no. Clockwork has a heart. Clockwork doesn't take damage anymore. Got it. Oh, Io wants reports. Bane's all and Ursa. All the time creeping. It's true. Look at him creeping. Oh, look at that. I notice he's got himself circled by small spirits, which really gives away his spirits. Might need to stop doing that. Or gives away his true non-illusion self. It's the only one in small circle spirits. Yeah, you gotta just leave spirits big when you're doing illusion things with spirits. Bloodseeker dies. Oh no, Bloodseeker. Did you get caught by a sweet Shakiro combo? Look at him running in with all that super fastness. Is that a haste rune? I can't even click on him. I have no idea how he was just that fast. But he got caught in the juxtapose, in the power cogs Macropyre combo and burned for it. Rough. The Shakiro build is nasty. I really like it. Wouldn't want to play it, but it's really strong. That is quite a few spirits, my friends. That is quite a few spirits. They do damage to towers, unfortunately. Now the wad is blown for a few more seconds. Let's see if this ult, which I'm sure is popping right now, can do the damage. Oh man, they just all insta-pop again. What is that? 29-0. 29 mid. Alright, notes taken. Yeah, he just lost like most of his illusions as soon as they popped right there. I'm gonna take a what happened to them moment. So I think, if I'm not mistaken, he pops his ult as the earthquake goes off. Yeah, and they just all melt immediately. Alright, so it's the dream build, but he's definitely struggling to have illusions alive. Bane using the doppelganger to get away. Only one death on each side of this fight so far. Seems like maybe it should have been a bit more gruesome of a match than that. Looks like the Clockwork is getting loaded. He's got a heart, a blade mail, phase boots, and an echo saber. That's a very scary setup. Hero does the swoop in, but misses. This time there are lots of spirits. But again, Radiant kind of just pulls out of the fight when the spirits get popped. With that, Timbersaw has 3k gold, and I think he's going for a reap. Oh, weird. We can't see his spirits anymore. How strange. Now we can see his spirits. You know who else can see his spirits? The entire enemy team. Oh man, that's Shadow Realm damage. Rip Timbersaw. Meanwhile, Bloodseeker's pushing bottom. Alright, let's see when the next fight is. It looks like it's a little ways away. Action bottom as Bane goes on a Bloodseeker. KarmaKnight shows up with the CC. Bane just wails away on him. KarmaKnight clearly has his axe by now, and yeah, that's lots of damage. Timbersaw shows up with the wall of spirits. Gets crowd controlled. Caught in Fireball. All the illusions are super low. He doesn't choose to run up the ramp. Ends up blinking out. A little bit of fizzles on a few of these juxtapose things. Juxtapose spirit combo showdown moments. Alright, gonna sip some water and hit next highlight. This whole talking for a whole cast thing is hard on my face. Next highlight. What we got? Bloodseeker. Pushing bottom, I guess. Action is top, where Clockwork has gone in against Bane. Looks like he is getting kind of kited by Bane and Phoenix. The rest of the team shows up. Lots of illusions that get caught in the macro fire and die very quickly. Yikums, that's 3 dead on the Dire side. Oh yeah, there's another earthquake. It's Macropyre, and a second later, here comes the Dragon Knight Epicenter, and all the illusions just disappear. All the heroes disappear too. Oh, the AoE magic damage on the ults here. That seems like a bit of a rage buyback from IO. Oh no, that's not a buyback. That's a he got the Aegis during that fight. Okay, that like balances that out a little. Giving up 3 heroes so one can fight Roche is not optimal, but it's fine. I love Wraith Pact as an item. I do not like it on IO this game. I feel like that belongs on Sand King this game. Or maybe Clockwork. I like the Dragon Lance. I like the Moon Shard, the Hyper Stone. KB is a bit of an of course. I'd much rather see stronger lifesteal like Satanic, because the improved base damage is like mostly useless. I'd also like to see, you know, maybe a Scatty or a Glipner, some option for crowd control, because he's resorting to a Supernova in the middle of the enemy team, and somewhat unsurprisingly dies. He gets picked up by Aegis. Standing in a fireball seems bad. Sand King comes in with some nukes. They could turn this around. The Phoenix maybe could have done it. Looks like it's going to be the River Styx that drowns the Phoenix, though, as Timbershaw and, 11 more Timbersaws all show up. It's so interesting that 3 of them show as real, and the rest of them show as illusions. He's got a heart now. He's got to start getting better for this Timbersaw. So, I noticed he let the bunch get all strung out. Getting the heroes to cluster with your micro is kind of important with this build. So you can get that like really intense stream of spirits all hitting an enemy hero at the same time, because they'll just melt in seconds. Whereas if your heroes are in a line at any given spot, they're just standing in. Oh man, that's another one where he pops his ult and the macro pyre just burns them all away immediately. Is that 37? Followed up by another big epicenter. The heart keeps him up for a while. There was a big heal there? Not sure what that was. Oh, an AoE brain sap. The big brain sap to keep him up, and then the heart heals him up after. Nice, so he doesn't die this time. That's better. Io did buy back this time, which is sus, because he doesn't have boots of travel. And that fight was on the other side of the map. Why would he do that? They're still after Timbersaw. They're gonna get him. The IO does show up in time to get Ice Pathed. KarmaKnight waiting for his blink to come off cooldown and gets out neatly. Phoenix still trying to fight. Bane very low, still trying to fight. Looks like that Doppelganger is gonna, Doppelganger is gonna get him out again. The push comes through the triangle, and at that point the fight finally fizzles out. This is definitely too much chase. There are 4 enemies alive right now. They could be here by now. It's a little sus. Alright, so the Timbersaw did go down again. I am going to make a note of that one. That was at 37. Mid. Okay, cool. Alright, back to the game. Looks like action top. Phoenix with the hook shot from across the world. How long was that? Full range hook shot. Wow, that was very impressive. Goes on Io, tries to do things. Io just stands his ground and fights. Looks like the Phoenix is going to fly away. Io again is forced to result to his ult, which does not save him. 3 copies of an aggressive right clicker just sitting on top of him when he does it. Clockwork is in trouble too, and at that point, Io abandons. Bloodseeker calls GG. Now, right after that, Timbersaw shows up to the fight with his 12 fake buddies, and like the other team is kind of just routed. Macro Pyre burns away all the illusions. Timbersaw and Clock are continuing to chase. Those illusions just need to get microed back. Phoenix would have gone down by now. They're just right-clicking right now, which is not what this hero's meant to do. There you go. You saw it for a second. You can hear the like machine gun fire of all the illusions hitting. There it is. That's what you need. Okay, he doesn't go down because he's just that tanky. Looks like Phoenix now has a heart, along with double bracers and a pipe. But it's not enough to survive in the River Styx for long. He will go down. So suddenly, this is looking really good for the Dire. Big old push, big fight where Timbersaw finally gets to keep his illusions up long enough to do damage with them. That was well done. When was the beginning of that fight? Like 30, 38, 39 top? Let's call it 38 top. We'll keep an eye on that for the replay. Alright. Now that Io's gone, Timbersaw can siege mid. The ult goes up, and they go down again in macro fire. Oh man, so fast. What was that, 41 minutes? That has got to be frustrating. Now Ursa and KarmaKnight and Jakiro are all on the the Clockwork, who will go down. Sand King died not too long ago. Didn't see that happen. Where was Sand King? Sand King was part of the push top. Tower's down. The high ground siege is already going. Sand King stands in macro fire. Oh, and Jakiro swoops by and locks him in place. And he can't auto-attack out of cogs fast enough and burns to death. Oh my god, that is fantastical and hilarious. Alright, we've already seen the rest of this fight. Let's move it up a little. So, the clockwork does end up going down. All the spirits top get popped by Macropyre again. Is that 42 top? Alright, and let's take a look at this fight. So, the cogs are used to cut off the retreats. The ice path locks Timbersaw in place. Macropyre already burned out all the illusions, and that is a very dead Timbersaw. Not for the first time. There are 3 Dire dead. And it kind of seems bad, except for they are way ahead in net worth now. They must have sold Io's items at this point. Yeah, so they just got all the value from Io. Who is now all the way at the bottom at a whopping 2,300 net worth from his shard and his ambient gold. Jakiro with the Octarine Core Ags. I like it. He can stun more often. He can Macropyre more often. Seems great. I would argue that, like, at some point he should be transitioning into right click, and this build would still be effective. Like Liquid Fire, sure, I like the shard. Improve Macropyre, okay, I get it, but is it really necessary on this build? Like, if he's trying to cogs Macropyre kill people, which he successfully did on Sand King, that makes sense, but he could be going damage-dealing caster items. You know, like Bloodthorn and Witchblade and, you know what I'm talking about. All the things that let you right-click and still have mana. And not caster fallacying himself late game. And with Thirst, all that right-click stuff makes a lot of sense. Am I crazy? Is this just the better build? How would you build this? Tell me in the comments. All right, we've approached a lull, so we're gonna next time. Oh, did I just next highlight like 3 times? What just happened? Where were we? We were at like 42, 43. Talking about Jakiro. We already saw this. All right, let's do that. Yeah, okay, 45 is the next highlight. We have the Doppelganger ult. Jakiro just gets out of the river, but he gets stunned afterward. Ends up back in. But again, all the illusions just running at him don't actually focus the spirits on him. So Jakiro will get away from that fight. The fireball brings down the illusions a moment later. This Timbersaw is looking like he's in trouble with the 3 big dumb dragons all breathing fire on him. Turns out he's fine. He just TP's home. Bane, meanwhile, will get the kill bottom on Clockwork. Blade Mail doesn't do him any good. I think Bane might have a carry build by now. Looks like, I mean, he's actually not that rich. I like his build though. I like that he's going into Scatty. I like Silver Edge on this. Is that Hyperstone just going to be a Moon Shard? Probably. I feel like this build definitely wants Satanic eventually, but it's fine how he's doing it. Alright, what's next? 1 whole minute later. Siege top has begun as Bane tries to push. The Doppelganger comes out, but I think that kill was actually all Sand King. With the Burrow Strike, Fiend's Grip. They both did a lot of damage. He got a bunch of melee hits in. Not so much magic damage. Bane goes down a moment later. Oh no, not Bane. Ursa goes down a moment later. Standing in Macropyre. Whoopsies. Bloodseeker stands in Macropyre too and also dies. Oh no, Ursa just died to the Bloodseeker. Very strong at this point with Abyssal Blade and AC and SNY and Mjolnir. Yeah, he's leaned into his right-click ability. He's 6-slotted. This build is officially scary. Timbersaw with the 2nd Heart and the 3rd Reaver turning into an overwhelming blink. I think he's tired of his illusions popping in Macropyre, and I approve of this decision. I don't know if I approve of that decision. Where are you going, B? pushed out top and then TP'd home. I don't know if he needed to leave. Maybe he just wanted a way to fill up mana and to grab his blade mail. Okay. I don't hate it. Looks like they're scouting out Roche. Trying to figure out when the next fight is gonna be. Speaking of the next fight, let's find it. Looks like it's bottom jungle for this one. Bane catches Clockwork trying to deward. Blade Mail goes up. Black Dragon form and the Thunder goes up. Dragon Knight engages. Phoenix chains onto the Dragon Knight, missing Clockwork, who pops BKB and runs away. Looks like successfully. Until that Ice Path catches him. Is the team going to show up? Not in time. That is a Phoenix Swoop Power Cogs to block his escape. And the Clockwork, who was just dead for an entire year, is now dead for an entire year again. Timbersaw, still farming. 52 minutes, definitely a time to be farming. Hashtag never stop farming. Jakiro's going for some survivability next. Bane has finished the Silver Edge. Skipped the Scatty. Wants to finish Revenant's Brooch and get a Scatty eventually. Gotta assume those boots are traps after that. Dragon Knight helping Roche. Hey, remember the 3 items I said Dragon Knight should get? Moonshard, Blink, and Axe. Brilliant. Followed up by BKB, Heart, and Phase Boots. I like it. Ursa has gone AFK mid, for one thing, and also has kind of a weird build. Windlace, Phase Boots. Ooh, looks like that turned into a... Oh no, it's fight top. Where Phoenix is super deep and alone. And dies to a Bloodseeker and a Sand King. Anyways, Ursa's build is a little wonky. He's clearly leaned into his casting with the Sanjin Kaya and the Octarine Core. Blade Mail to get close. I don't hate it. I also kind of don't love it. Jakiro has had enough. Despite being very well built and having a really cool set of combos and stuff, he DCs on a death. Ursa hasn't DC'd, but appears to just be AFK. I think, unfortunately, it looks like the end of this game kind of fizzles. Alright, we have Timbersaw. Bringing in the top lane. He has a Radiance, 2 Hearts, a Blink, and a Blade Mail. And, like, all of the spirits. The BKB just turns them off and they burn down in a fireball again. That is got to be so disappointing. 54 minutes in. 54 top. And 2 Hearts and a Strength Blink later. You'd think his illusions would have got some of his tankiness. They still just burn in fire. Hashtag illusions are flammable. That was terrifying. I'm gonna zoom in for what this Bloodseeker does to the Bane right there. Just Jesus. He gets the Abyssal Blade off. He pops the Overpower. He attacks real fast at this point, and he just destroys Bane if he can get on top of him. Doesn't like being out of mana, though, and just runs for it. Sand King left to run by himself. What? Excuse me? Who did Phoenix just chain? Ruh-roh. Oh, let's see that again in slow motion. Oh, yeah. That Dragon Knight blink right before Phoenix hit his ult to try to catch the Fleeing Sand King. That was hilarious. Well done, Dragon Knight. You cock-blocked your Phoenix. 55 bot. That is absolutely worthy of a short. Looks like Sand King, let's actually pay attention to that, Gets caught by an ice path. Ends up standing in fire. Got KarmaKnight slapping him over and over again with now a basher. And sure enough, he goes down. Alright, we're at 55 minutes. Everybody's pretty built. The goal difference is actually close. It's 42-38. Kinda looks like it's maybe going in favor of Radiant at this point. Time for a high ground defense. Ursa's still holding down the fort at home. They're down a tower, and Bloodseeker is opting to split push here. Let's see what happens with this defense top. Clockwork out front by himself. Eats everything with a blade mail up. Returns a good amount of damage before going down. Somebody pilots the IO into a supernova, which is feeding Bane more. Clockwork buys back. Bane continues the push bottom. Looks like he's going to get Rax bottom. The Clockwork buyback. The Timber Saw is up and definitely not sleeping. Top tower goes down. Mid racks are already down. Top racks are getting low. Meanwhile, Ursa gets the free kill by Bloodseeker, who did take bottom racks. The top racks do go down. Juxtapose. In fire, they are all going to die, but not as quickly this time. He ends up fighting at melee range where just none of the spirits are hitting. It's very interesting. Bane is able to TP out. The base holds. Bottom racks gets traded for both top and mid racks. Now it's 44-40. They're 4K gold apart. Very, very interesting and close game here. At this point, I could call it either way. All right, Timber Saw. Solo, down top. Uses the Brain Sap to blow up a creep wave. Gonna get silenced. Bloodseeker joins the party. KarmaKnight wonders why people are taking the game seriously when it's AD and a joke mode, and obviously no one who plays actually cares. I don't know if I've ever ranted about this on this channel up to this point, but with that comment, I will take the opportunity to do so. Dude, absolutely fuck anyone that gets into a game of ability draft and then just plays like crap, then positions aren't a thing, and just doesn't even try, and then is like, oh, it doesn't matter, it's AD, it's unranked. This is the only mode I play, and like I'm playing because I want to have a good game. So, you know, maybe don't be the worst. All right, rant over. Let's pay attention to this fight because crazy things are happening. It's high ground, and I am talking about other things. Push coming in top, push coming in mid. Looks like 2 heroes in each of the unclaimed lanes. That's a way to do it. Clockwork switches up to top. Sand King switches up to top. So it's not going to be a split push. Mid is already pushed back out. And with Mega Creeps, mid is secure. It's going to be the Timber Saw, blink in, hit Juxtapose. Look at all that damage on Bane, forces him back. The illusions go down, standing in fire yet again. 58 minutes. Here, I'll pause for it this time.